Tonight, new research warns of increased heroin use in Port Lincoln. And is your household fire safe for the winter ahead?
This is Southern Cross News with Alison Drower.
Hello, thanks for your company tonight. Also ahead, solar thermal campaigners get a positive sign as they push for a plant in Port Augusta. But first, the future of a 54,000-tonne steel order for Arrium appears to be now in doubt. The Indian mining company Adani is postponing its Carmichael coal mine project, unhappy with the Queensland government's royalties offer. But the MP for Grey, Rowan Ramsey, is hopeful that it is just a small speed hump in the process, as John Hunt reports.
When Adani and Barnaby Joyce came to Whyalla to announce Arrium will supply the rail tracks for the company's Carmichael coal mine, they were encouraging us to jump aboard the development train.
These projects are about nation building, both in Australia and in India.
Building things that need steel, building things that keep the people at Arrium in a job, building things that keep the workers of Whyalla on a job.
Just 3 weeks on and the project has been derailed. Adani has postponed its final decision after divisions emerged in the governing Queensland Labor Party over whether to provide them with royalty assistance. A local member says it's a shambles up north.
It's as a direct result of the Queensland government having a fight with itself.
At stake is a $72 million order, which would have helped increase the viability of the site to a new owner. But Mr Ramsey is urging for calm, saying he's confident the Queensland government will see sense.
I don't expect this issue to be hanging around long. I think it's a bit of a last gasp effort.
At the time of the announcement, our state government questioned whether it was a wise announcement, considering the project had yet to be approved. But Mr Ramsey has defended the event, saying the issue was unforeseeable.
That it was all clean sailing. We had the deal was all but stitched, but then this has been a last-minute hurdle that I don't think anyone was anticipating.
Adani did not return our calls, while Arrium declined to comment. John Hunt, Southern Cross News.
New data shows heroin is making a return to the streets of Port Lincoln, with rehab services concerned about their ability to cope with demand. A study by the Alcohol and Drug Foundation has been the centrepiece of a larger community workshop today on the impact of heroin and ice on the region.
It's another disturbing indicator of just how supply and demand dictates drug addiction across the community, and counsellors are even shocked by what they're hearing.
I was really surprised to see heroin has popped up, but that would coincide with national data that's coming out to say that heroin is making a comeback.
Heroin use peaked in the early 90s, then saw a rapid decline with users swapping to methamphetamine. The rise in addiction flying somewhat under the radar, with a national spotlight fixated on ice. New research has found a 55% increase in the number of heroin injections, with more than 2,000 hits every month. Today, a community forum discussed the impacts drugs such as ice and heroin are having on Port Lincoln, in a bid to find some common ground amongst services.
And that we're not all fighting for something that's actually not working, and currently we're seeing rehabilitation not really suitable all of the time.
The solution may hinge on getting the message through early.
Well, we talk a lot about providing support, providing care and providing opportunity for recovery, but I do believe also there's a place for early intervention and prevention so that people don't begin a downward spiral.
A regional drug action team aims to keep the focus on helping people kick their habits.
Move into a recovery phase and stay in that phase.
Jason Kemp, Southern Cross News.
A health scare for Port Lincoln Olympic gold medalist Kyle Chalmers. He's been forced to withdraw from the upcoming FINA World Championships due to the need to undergo heart surgery. The Eyre Peninsula-born swimmer has been diagnosed with a condition known as SVT, which causes an abnormally fast heart rhythm and palpitations. Doctors believe, though, that the Olympic champion will make a full recovery just in time for the 2018 Commonwealth Games. We have some more details tonight on how welfare recipients in Port Augusta are thinking about the new Parents Next program. The city, as well as Whyalla, will be among 20 locations for the compulsory program, which aims to break the dependency on welfare and get more people work ready.
Across Whyalla and Port Augusta, teen mums who are on parenting payments will soon be eligible to undertake training to get them back into the workforce.
Thinking about going to work when you've been away from the workforce or trying to connect for the first time is quite a challenge. So getting some extra support is what this program's all about.
The Parents Next program is being rolled out by the federal government with aims to offer education beyond a young mother's pregnancy.
We're looking at not just trying to push you straight into work, we're looking at giving you the skills and the extra training and the extra support, so when you do find that job and maybe it's some work experience and those sorts of things, you're ready for it.
The $260 million program will be rolled out across 20 regions, and Port Augusta and Whyalla were identified as two of the hotspots. Port Augusta's mayor is welcoming the new initiative.
The surface of it seems to have merit. It appears that the federal government are trying to put some resources and particularly some funding behind getting some people back into the workforce.
Both Port Augusta and Whyalla will have access to the Parents Next program from July 1st next year. Amelia Simpson, Southern Cross News.
Broken Hill's newly refurbished Civic Centre is having to close for a while because of some problems with its toilet facilities. It means that events booked into the centre in coming weeks will have to find a new venue.
A setback for the Civic Centre.
We've had a couple of events over the last couple of weeks, put the facility under load or under stress, and it's actually come up a little bit short.
The centre has recently undergone a $5.1 million refurbishment and was forced to hit the ground running. Hosting a debutante ball and the Nationals Party conference over the past 2 weekends has raised concerns around the lighting, plumbing and sinks in the bathroom.
What we want to make sure is that people have that great experience, and for us to, now that we know how the facility has performed under stress or under load, we know where some of the areas that we need to focus on are.
It's bad news for events booked into the centre for the month of June. Council event staff are now working with organisers to relocate the booked-in shows and balls. Mr Ronkin says while the delay is a sombre thing, Council want to ensure everything is done right and not slapdash.
In good conscience, we can't hire the facility out knowing that people aren't going to get the best possible experience that they can, and we just couldn't do that in good faith.
The builders are aiming to complete the works by the end of June. A specialist project manager will be at the site every day to ensure work is progressing as quickly as possible. Patrick Reinke, Southern Cross News.
Still ahead tonight, our weekly Fuel Watch and Whyalla Council considering more public land sell-offs. Welcome back. You're watching Southern Cross News. It is budget time for Whyalla Council, but the community is also being asked for its feedback on whether to rezone a key piece of public land. Several developers want to get their hands on the land, but Council is not convinced it's the right way to go.
It may not look like it, but this piece of land at the entrance to Whyalla is open for public use, but others see it as a developer's opportunity, with council fielding inquiries regarding potential business opportunities.
We're excited by the fact that people are knocking on our door with ideas and projects, and we're keen to explore how they might be suitable and beneficial for our economy.
The land stretches from the eastern side of the Mad Mile round to the western side, taking in the Whyalla substation. It belonged to Arium, who passed it to council in 2000 and was zoned as open space in 2008. Mr Stoit says it's important residents have their say on whether the land should be developed or kept for public use.
The council's keen to understand the public's views and perception of the land. Should the land be retained exclusively for open space, or should it be made available for some form of development?
Surveys are available at council's offices and online, with residents having until June 15 to complete it. Mr Stoit says with the city looking to overcome a difficult economy, he says we need to examine our opportunities.
Projects that have the potential for significant economic outcomes and also employment generation for the Whyalla region should be given robust consideration.
John Hunt, Southern Cross News.
Campaigners for solar thermal power in Port Augusta have received a positive sign. Their determination may be paying off. The Australian Renewable Energy Agency is seeking more info from interested energy buyers on how much they are willing to pay.
Port Augusta locals are hoping solar thermal is taking its next steps in the right direction. The Australian Renewable Energy Agency today announced it's requesting information on the costs and benefits of solar thermal from prospective developers.
To call for organisations, bodies, operators to bid into that process, if you like, to come to them and tell them what type of technology they want to use, how they're going to build it and what kind of financial assistance they need.
Despite concern, the announcement didn't specify Port Augusta as the location for a solar thermal power station. Federal member for Grey, Rowan Ramsey, is confident it will go ahead in the region.
We have made a commitment that we are backing a project in Port Augusta, so they'll tell us which is the best project, and that's where we will be.
ARENA said in a statement that their call will help them determine how the government funds solar thermal projects and aligns with the federal government's $110 million commitment to a project in Port Augusta. Chair of Repower Port Augusta, Gary Rowbottom, says this indicates the government's support.
Don't want the whole thing to develop into yet another round of studies and inaction. We'd like to sort of see all this move forward quickly. But it's really still needs the state government to be that long-term buy.
Amelia Simpson, Southern Cross News.
Well, they spend hours behind the wheel, clocking over hundreds of Ks on some of our dustiest highways. And now truckies will be happy to hear Broken Hill is getting a new truck wash station, as Pat Reinke reports.
Building a strong freight network around the state, one truck wash at a time.
Broken Hill is going to get one of these truck washers, $700,000 truck wash, which will have triple capacity to be able to clean those big trucks so that the farmer can get the product to market and then get back on the road and get working again more quickly.
The $10 million initiative is aiming to build a reliable freight network by focusing on hotspots where truck washers are needed. The nearest truck wash for the Broken Hill community is in Jamestown, 300 kilometres away. It becomes a tedious task when most trucks require a wash for every load of livestock delivered.
The mantra is come clean, go clean. So the more that we can cut down on turnaround times for carting of stock and grain and other produce, the better.
New facilities like the truck wash and the current sealing of the road to Tibooburra means Broken Hill will benefit greatly from more transport through the region.
We think there are some significant gains financially to be returned back to pastoralists in the western part of the state through putting up these facilities but continuing the good work that's going on in the road network.
Patrick Reinke, Southern Cross News.
After the break, Port Lincoln Fireys with some worthy advice on keeping your family safe this winter. Welcome back. Well, our nights are still a little on the mild side, but it is that time of the year again when our local fireys want to remind us about safety around fireplaces and also in the way that we use electric blankets and heaters.
It's a sight that is all too common in winter. Fire crews on the Eyre Peninsula responded to 58 house fires last year, most of them preventable.
The MFS and CFS have responded to fires that involve not only chimneys but also heaters in the homes, and most of the time the incidences of the cause of that fire is because items are left too close to the heater.
The MFS urging residents to be prepared this winter, especially those who use open fireplaces.
Now's the time, if you haven't done already, is to get your chimneys, flues inspected. Whether you have an open fire or a combustion heater, I think get a professional to check their working condition.
The fire service calling for people to be vigilant using clothes dryers and electric blankets and to check smoke detectors to prevent a tragedy.
Early detection is vital as far as survivability of a house fire. So having a working smoke alarm that's less than 10 years old is crucial.
Each year, more people die in house fires than any other type of fire, with nearly half of all preventable house fires starting right here in the kitchen.
We definitely want a house fire-free winter. That would be very nice that we would like to achieve.
Jason Kemp, Southern Cross News.
Farmers on the Yorke Peninsula have added another pest to their list as reports are flowing in about Mediterranean snails. The slimy invaders attack green crops and then come harvest time, the snails clog up machinery and contaminate the grain. Snail numbers are on the increase after a wet and mild summer, and farmers are being encouraged to lay some baits and, if possible, run heavy rollers over the stubble to crush the snails before seeding. Let's go to our weekly look at petrol prices now, and you should notice a little more cash in your wallet after filling the tank this week. Patrick Reinke has more with tonight's Fuel Watch.
There has never been a better time to top up your tank, with plenty of green across the boards. Let's start with unleaded. Port Pirie and Port Augusta have enjoyed another week of no movement, and Whyalla is the same. Port Lincoln has gone down just a tad, but still sits on $1.28. Here in the Silver City, we're enjoying another small drop and are now down to $1.26 a litre. Adelaide is still enjoying a period of low prices, the price down by 4 cents and is now $1.15. Turning over to diesel now, and Port Pirie has seen the biggest change. A 2 cent decrease has the price now at a very cheap $1.24. Port Augusta and Whyalla are once again holding steady, while Port Lincoln sees its price slowly start to decline. Broken Hill has broken even on $1.30, and Adelaide rounds out the board, maintaining its $1.23 average. Now remember, these prices are the regional averages, and they do not reflect any one particular outlet. If you do find a spot that is selling unleaded or diesel for cheaper, be sure to let us know on our Facebook page. Ali.
And thanks to Pat for that Fuel Watch there. Your local weather is coming up next, right here on Southern Cross News. Well, sensational autumn conditions yet again for most of our centres today. Still a few more days to go before we get a cooler change. 20 or 21 degrees was our top today. There was a shower in Port Lincoln, but mainly fine, and Adelaide on its way to 19 degrees. On the satellite, a weak trough is causing a few showers and storms offshore, but skies are otherwise clear under a building high pressure edge. Now, those clear skies will mean some fog around in the morning, and a weak change is forecast on Saturday night. If you are heading out on the water tomorrow, winds will be west to norwesterlies at 15 to 20 knots, seas around a metre on a south-southwesterly swell. Sunrise at 7:10, sunset at 21 minutes past 5 o'clock. It's looking good again right across our region tomorrow. Port Lincoln will see more sunshine, 21. Broken Hill continuing its glorious run of blue skies for 20. Clare a maximum of 17 and fine, and Adelaide aiming for 20 degrees. To the 4-day outlooks now. Friday and Saturday will be sunny and mild for Port Lincoln, Cleve and Woodner, with that weak change bringing a shower during Saturday afternoon. That's going to drop temps just a few degrees on Sunday. A similar story for Whyalla and Port Augusta, with a maximum of 23 on Saturday before a shower arrives, and Kadina also enjoying a sunny run into the weekend. Port Pirie will also remain cloud-free and sunny through to Saturday, when you'll get that cooler change for 18 on Sunday, and the chance of a shower then too for Clare, but not a drop of rain for Broken Hill. That is the latest in local news from the team here at Southern Cross. You can find more on our Facebook page, on Twitter, and also a complete relay of tonight's news on our YouTube channel from tomorrow. Hope to have your company again tomorrow night from 6:30. Until then, enjoy the rest of your night.